Nationally, there's 2 million people living with limb loss in the States. 2 million. On a regional level, I would guesstimate, around 50 to 100,000 people. Your independence, my independence is different, but the goal is the same, to be independent of whatever it is that the limitations are. I was 15 years old and I was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma, which is a bone cancer in my ankle. I was the first patient treated at A.I. DuPont Children's Hospital for chemotherapy, and after several rounds of chemo, the ultimate decision was made to do an amputation of the limb in order to remove the tumor. Fortunately, I had a lot of support, family and friends-wise, and I never really felt dismay or a lot of despair. I was always very hopeful. My doctor at one point had mentioned to me, parts are parts, and in thinking about it, that's exactly what it comes down to. It's better than the whole body being affected. We can replace a limb and move on and still live our life. As a freshman at University of Delaware, I did an internship at A.I. DuPont Children's Hospital, and I started working in the basement of their lab, and I was 19 years old, and that was 16 years ago. So from there, I continually evolved my education, and that's how I got into the field and remained in it. We opened in the summer of '07, and I had known from experience working with other companies that I was always able to do very well for them and be successful for them, and in turn felt like there wasn't a reason I couldn't do it for myself. Plus I had visions of doing it a little differently when it came to the service end of it that I thought would help us excel, and to this point so far I've been correct. So I just want you to try all this again for me, just to stand up, and let's make sure that you feel okay height-wise. Just take your time. Once a patient's limb is healed and we begin the evaluation process and the casting process, and about a week is an estimated time frame where we could actually have something ready. In some cases, we've had patients who come from out of town. We can actually do it in a day, but reasonable time frame is about a week turnaround.
I walk, I drive, I play bridge twice a month. I do everything. Anytime I called if I had any problem, he always made time for me to come over, do adjustments, whatever. Oh, I don't know what I would do without him. He's the best, he really is.
Patients will come to us with a prescription from their doctor for a prosthetic evaluation, and as a prosthetist we do a consultation with them, an evaluation based on their height, weight, their age, activity level will help us to determine what components are best suitable for them and what type of prosthetic design. Well, what we're able to do is to take a measurement for a patient, this is for an above-knee amputee patient, and then the computer is able to allow us to superimpose a 3D image of the shape of that person's limb, and the carver system will carve out the dimensions of this image. We can technically scan and carve out a model in about a half an hour's time. So that's what the technology allows us to do.
I'm always testing myself because I'm young. I don't want to be in a wheelchair. It's great, I mean, to have my mobility back. John took what doctors said I couldn't do and made it a reality. When you walk in the door, there's a smile, and they look straight past the disability and look right at the ability. So much better. I mean, the quality and my possibilities have now gone from here. There is no end.
The difference between us and a competitor is ultimately, I believe, our service to the patients, the turnaround time, having the efficiency of having a lab on site, and the knowledge and the expertise that we put behind it. The more intimate the fit is with the body, the better the acclimation is for the patient to adjust.
I was always one of those people who could never sit down. In other words, I was very active. I was telling people while I was still flat on my back in the hospital, a year from now I'm going to be walking, you watch. A year from now I'm going to be walking. I was in the hospital for 4 months, and John Horn, who's my prosthetist, he had me in prosthetics within like 3 weeks. I was so determined to get back to work and get back to a normal life, which you cannot do without these things. I mean, this is the difference between having a life and not having a life.
Now just step up sideways to your left. That's it.
I feel good about myself. I feel good about positive, about moving on. You know, I'm not living in the past. I wouldn't even be here, you know, without the help that I've had, you know. John and his, you know, independence prosthesis. It's been great, you know. So it's a challenge, but, you know, I'm up for the challenges is good. I think that's what life's about, you know.
You did it. Good job.